It's the first day of classes and I am done with my first day. Been done for about like an hour. That sounds right, an hour. I have 2 classes in the morning and I actually prefer morning classes. Last semester I had all of my classes like 11 to 4 in that chunk of time. But this semester I'm never in school past like 2, I don't think, which is nice. I'm a morning person, I get up early anyways. So I'd rather just be in school getting things done, and then I have my afternoons to either do work, work out, grocery shop, all of those things, and not be getting out at rush hour. Good thing about the first day is that you want to come in prepared, do the readings, know what you're going to be discussing in class, but also to recognize that you don't know what's going to happen the first day. You don't know the professor. I mean, maybe you do, but not as a first year law student. You're not going to know your professor. And you don't really know the subject material. Like, you've done a little bit of reading for class. You might know what criminal law is. You might know what the Constitution is, but you've never taken a constitutional law class in law school. You've likely never taken a class on property law. Take the first day, take the first week, the first 2 weeks to figure out your professor a little bit, figure out the reading material, figure out the cases, see, does this stuff read naturally to me? Does it not? What class do I think I'm going to need to put in a little bit more effort compared to the other classes? So all of my syllabi allow me to have a laptop in class. I've actually decided, and this is my current decision, but it may change once I get my grades from last semester, or I see how the classes run when we're actually into the semester and not just the first day. But I'm thinking about just taking paper notes, because if the class is moving relatively slowly, then taking handwritten notes isn't the worst thing. Professors love to talk about how, and teachers alike, love to talk about how there are studies that saying like taking notes by hand, you actually like remember it better. I don't know about that. If we're being real, computers can be a distraction. Like, as much as I say that I'm not gonna be like online shopping, and I'm not online shopping, but I might check an email if it pops up. You might miss even a phrase that your professor says, or all of a sudden be behind because you kind of zoned in on what the other thing that you were doing. So I'm gonna try to avoid computers a little bit more this semester, but that could change, especially if one of my classes is moving so quickly and I feel like I want to catch a lot of what's being said. I'm going to need to type to get more down. Anyways, so I am done with my first day. I have a little bit of work to do for tomorrow. I did end up doing, what am I doing? I did end up doing my property work for my first day of property tomorrow. Yesterday, I kind of just enjoyed my last day of full freedom. So I have property for tomorrow to do, crim for tomorrow to do, and then I left my con law books at school and I can do those tomorrow morning. I'm going to do crim and property this afternoon while I'm still like awake and good to go, while I sip my tea and I'm home and the house is empty. It's just me, it's daylight, yay. And then I have therapy later, and then I think I'll probably go to the store and try to cook a real dinner, or maybe do a little bit of cooking for lunches for the week. Maybe. That could be a stretch. This is my first day of semester 2 check-in, and maybe I'll film a little bit later today, but more likely you'll come to school with me tomorrow. So yay, day 2, that's tomorrow, let's do it. Not that anyone asked for this, but this is what I wore to school today. I know that when I was starting law school, I wasn't quite sure what people wore, because some people say that like people dress nice and other people say it's the same thing as undergrad. I wore like basically just like a nice t-shirt. I wore a nice t-shirt, a belt, and jeans. People wear all different things, and I can do a whole video about what people wear in law school if some people want to know. So this is what I wore, in case you were curious. Okay, hello. It is like 4 o'clock of my 4 p.m. What am I saying? It's 4 o'clock on my second day of classes. And I had all 3 of my doctrinal classes in a row. And then I went to the gym with a friend. And now I am back in my car to head home and to eat food and to maybe do some work. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of work. My first class isn't until 1 o'clock tomorrow, and I only have 1 class tomorrow, so it's definitely harder to motivate to do work tonight, given I have until 1 o'clock tomorrow to get 1 class worth of reading done. But I had my first session of property today. Yesterday I had Con and Crim, but today I also had my first class of property, and all of my professors seem manageable. I'm actually very excited for my classes. My constitutional law class is gonna be a lot, and I can explain more when I'm not sitting in my car next to a busy road that I honestly should move, but I just sat down because I did legs at the gym and now I'm tired, and I'm also really hungry, and the sooner I get home, the sooner I can eat food. So actually, I'm going to stop this. My camera's being balanced on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books because I haven't gotten a tripod yet. So, what you gonna do? Crystal Light. Honestly, the best thing ever. Day 1, it's not the same thing as an undergrad where day 1 of the class, you walk in, you review the syllabus, and that's it. No, most of the time you cover something legitimate. It's just a question of how much. Usually, if a professor does cold call during the year, they don't cold call during the first day. So the first day is not usually a great indication of what the class is actually gonna be like. So today in Con and Crim, it was really interesting to sort of see how the class went, the cadence of the professor's teaching style, their volunteer versus cold call method, and those 2 classes are very different. Neither are strict cold calls, which is nice. Last semester, I had 2 classes that were strict cold calls. Hold on, my water is boiling and I really want my pasta. Today was day 2 for Con and Crim. And in my Crim class, my professor has a stack of note cards that apparently have our name, and so he shuffles them like a deck. And if someone doesn't volunteer, he's gonna use the deck. And sometimes he might just use the deck if he wants to keep a conversation going based on 1 class of this. Which I don't mind, which it's tough because you aren't 100% sure if that question is gonna be a cold call question or you could volunteer an answer or someone else might volunteer an answer. But at the same time, you want to be paying attention, actively listening, and mentally participating, but you don't necessarily have to be afraid that every single question he asks could fall to you via a cold call. So that's Crim. But again, only had 1 real class so far, and that was today. My other real class that I had today was day 2 of Con. And Con Law, my professor is, as she said, we should move like turtles and not rabbits. We are moving very slowly. We are going basically line by line, argument by argument, really focusing on the particular, I can use a phrase from class, the peculiar expressions or particular phraseology of both the Constitution and this case. And I can tell that I'm going to learn a ton. I'm gonna need to spend more time, despite our lack of homework, because we don't cover that much in class. You really need to know that case better, and I need to start rereading the cases and really thinking less about the end result and more about the process of getting there. I'm very excited for the class. I feel like I'm gonna learn so much, and that's really exciting, but it's definitely gonna be very different than any law class I've had so far. Not that I've had that many, but different. I should check on my pasta, hold on. I've officially been talking for nearly 10 minutes. And I don't actually know if I'm saying that much that's that helpful, but what I am trying to get at is day 2 is almost more important than day 1. Sort of approach every class with a clean slate and then adjust and tweak how you best learn and study to how it's going to be most helpful for that class. So I'm still figuring that out for these 3 classes, and we'll see how it evolves. I'll probably almost do like an update to this in a week or 2 and see, was I right? Is a computer the way to go for property? Can I continue to do handwritten notes in Crim? Is ConLaw going to continue moving slowly, or are we going to speed up and it was just these first couple of cases? I really don't know the answer to those questions, but I'm going to figure it out as the semester moves. And you just have to get to know your professor, get to see how the class works, and be okay with adjusting. I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna do some work later. So we will see what seems to be good for y'all to come along with. I need a shower, that's first. So it is my 3rd day of classes, and I only have 1 class today, and it's not till 1, so that's a win. And spoiler alert, did nothing last night, per usual, because I can't study after 5 o'clock apparently. So this morning I'm going to get my Crim work done that's due for Crim later. Then I have a doctor's appointment, and then after that I'll go to school and do my property and ConLaw work that's due for tomorrow. Excuse me, I'm filming. Ella, if you want to be in the video, just ask. So I have work to do this morning, but then hopefully I can take tonight off again because I don't do work at night. It's really about figuring out like what time of day studying works for you, like just like in undergrad. Law school, you're gonna hear people who study all day, every day, all night, and that might not work for you. And then you'll hear of people who sleep in every day and they study at night, or maybe you get up early and you study in the morning and you go to bed at a grandma time, like me. Doesn't matter what other people are doing. Law school is full of people telling you what you should do because they do that or because someone else told them that their friend did that, and it's really about figuring out what works for you. Friday. It's been a very crazy week with some personal things and just the first week of classes. Honestly, just the combination of a lot of things just really threw me for a loop. Sorry I'm whispering. There's no one like anywhere nearby, but this is the first time I've really filmed in school. I just have 1 doctrinal class, property, and my lawyering class, so we're working on a motion to dismiss, like mock type of situation. It's where you like practice more practical skills. So I got to school early to do my property homework for today's class, to start researching for my lawyering memo, and then I have some work for a real estate company that I'm also working for part-time, just a little bit for practice. So I have to start doing work. It is sometime in the morning. I'm thinking 8. Let's go with 8. I think it's 8. So I have 2.5 hours to get property done. It will not take me anywhere near 2.5 hours. And then probably look at my work, and then maybe read a case or 2 for my lawyering stuff. But I'm ahead of the game, so I don't really need to. But if I'm here, I might as well do work while I am here. So let's do some property. Okay, so it is Sunday. of what has been a crazy week. So I started classes. My boyfriend made a very big life decision about like his next couple of years between school and work, and some of my grades came out, but not all of them, so I'm in this fun limbo state, and I don't know when it's gonna come. Hopefully next week, but we'll see. This is not normal. Most schools, or from my understanding, most schools do not release grades like some and then another and then another, and my school doesn't either. It's just that one of my professors last semester dropped the ball. And there's no need to get into a huff about it. We're here. It's a long weekend. It's MLK weekend. And my hope is to work on this video today. I also have to read for crim. I read for property yesterday. I'm gonna read for common law tomorrow. I've already read the case. I'm going to reread it on Monday and then potentially again Tuesday morning, just because Ella opened the door. Hold on, come here, baby. Hello. She does love me, I swear. That's gonna be like a nice, solid, normal Sunday, and then tomorrow's a day off, so I can do a little bit more work and then maybe try to do something fun and relaxing. But we'll go study. Sweet spot between sun and sun. Okay, I survived. I got through my first very crazy week of semester 2. And today I'm gonna do some work for actual work and maybe do some reading of my crim supplement. So it's not required, but I always, if I have the time, it's always great to do the supplemental readings. I made it through week 1, so hopefully it'll just get a little bit, like the work will pick up, but hopefully everything else will sort of get a little bit more manageable. But who freaking knows? This week there's elections for clubs, and I have to start reaching out for networking opportunities, and I need to wait for my final grade and apply to some more jobs. You guys can come along and see how applying for jobs this summer goes, and networking opportunities and clubs and all the things, because there's a lot more than just school, especially once semester 2 starts. Semester 1 is schoolwork, grades, not too much else, but semester 2, all the other stuff, I'm told, really picks up, so we can go figure it all out, or I can, and you can watch. That's it. That's video number 3. Okay, subscribe, like the video if you like watching me flounder through, or just completely sort of drown, but not really. I did fine. I'm okay. But it's definitely a lot, and that's what law school is. It's a lot. So subscribe, like, thanks. Okay, I will see you guys in my next video, which hopefully will be up next weekend after I get through this next week.